The Minister of Education, Dr. Moruf Tunji Alausa, has announced that English will be the primary medium of instruction in schools, citing poor results from states that implemented mother tongue policies. Dr. Alausa announced this during the Language in Education Conference, a two-day international conference held in Abuja. Welcome to Eco Blog and TV. My name is Comfort Olainka. Stay tuned for more reports.
The Federal Ministry of Education has officially cancelled the national policy on indigenous languages, a policy that had mandated the use of mother tongue as the medium of instruction in Nigerian schools. Speaking at the 2025 Language and Education International Conference in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Dr. Moruf Tunji Alausa, CON, said English will now serve as the language of instruction across all levels from pre-primary to tertiary education. The minister emphasized that the decision was based on data and evidence, not emotion, citing poor performance in public exams as a key factor.
We reviewed the data available to us that really working for us, teaching in mother tongue. And the unanimous outcome of our review, which is evidence-based, data-driven, compared and now combined with real-life situations of what we're seeing in the geopolitical zones where there's over-subscription, over-usage of this mother tongue language, going from primary 1 to primary 6, GSS 1 to GSS 3, and even advocacy that mother tongue language be used in secondary school. We've seen total destruction of our education system, and I use that word carefully. We have children graduating from school, finishing up to GSS 3 and even SS 3, but they haven't learned. They haven't learned anything. They've gone to do our national exams, WAEC, JAM, NECO, and they're failing. Exams are conducted in English, but we taught these kids through their education in the mother tongue. Also, we have a lot of peculiar situations in other parts. You go to Borno State, for example, in that region, the mother tongue language is Hausa. A larger part of people in Borno State do not speak Hausa, they speak Hausa. We come to Lagos, my home state. We go to area like Ajegunle, where you have predominantly people from southeastern part of the country. But 90% of the teachers are from the southwestern part of the country. So with our own unique, God-given diversity, we cherish ethnic diversity and language diversity, but then mother tongue as language of instruction in a foundational school tested it for 15 years, it hasn't worked. And that's why we made the decision to go away with it and go back to and we went back to what we were doing 50 years ago. English as a medium of instruction.
Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Saad Ahmed, announced new measures to strengthen foundational learning, including a teacher training package focused on improving literacy and numeracy skills at the early years of education.
For us, is ensuring that we have a holistic approach to the quality education, which cut across all levels, not only the professional. So part of what we did is identifying challenges that are left to allow some of them. But I would like to mention that the language policy will be in position we took with regards to the language policy. It's just one of the contributing factor to the problems associated with quality education. Of course, there are other issues, aspects of curriculum, aspects of teachers, issues around infrastructure, and then other factors. Each of those factors we identified that are actually contributing to problems of education or lack of quality education in the country. We have strategic interventions in how to address them. As I mentioned, the language policy position was just one factor contributing to the quality education, but there are other factors. For instance, now with the language policy, what we are trying to do in terms of the foundational literacy and numeracy. That is, of course, the aspect of teaching capacity and training. We have a holistic teacher capacity training package, a digital package for all teachers, whether you are in private school, public school, whether rural or urban, we have a digital training. The digital training is addressing mostly about methods of teaching, about value of education, because as I mentioned, the factors that are contributing to these issues around quality education are many, they are broad. For instance, you have teachers that are qualified, but then they don't have the incentive or the morale or the value to be in class. We have schools that the teachers are in school but not in class, teachers in class but not teaching. So the holistic teacher training package, the digital training package, focuses on, as I mentioned, the pedagogy, methods of teaching, value, gamifications, those common aspects that cut across for every teacher, whether you're an English teacher, mathematics teacher, chemistry teacher. These are broad-based knowledge that you should have in terms of how you teach your students.
Also speaking at the event, Donna McGowan, Country Director of British Council Nigeria, pledged the Council's continued support to strengthen teacher capacity and promote educational excellence in the country. Comfort Olayinka, Eco Hub Blog TV.